Thank you for waiting, and hello again from my side. I'm pleased to present you together with Tanya Barbato, who is also here for the webinar today. For those not knowing her, Tanya is the marketing manager for Western Europe, and with me today I will be presenting you the new tool we have, the WebWizard. So my name is Mark Eberhard, the product line manager for the voice over IP products at Pattern, and I'll guide you through today's webinar together with Tanya. Good. To get started, some things about how the webinar is organized. So you'll have the possibility to ask questions during the presentation. So feel free to post them in case you're unsure on one certain point. And then at the end, as you can see, we'll allow a couple of minutes to go through questions that came up during the presentation. Starting from the top on what we are going to talk about today, a few update or overview about Pattern product deployment. So a quick refresher for some of you, as we think the audience today has a pretty good understanding about Pattern products already. Then we will directly start with the WebWizard introduction, how to create wizards, and then how to share those on the Pattern community platform. And of course, we want to highlight again the advantages of being a member of the community platform. Good. Now, a quick walkthrough on Pattern product deployment. So there are different stages, possibilities on how to install, how to deploy products from Pattern. So on the provisioning side, there is the zero-touch possibility where using the redirect server, which is part of our solution, provides a really fast and time-saving way to do an install. The provisioning server is supporting, and also the products are supporting different kinds of protocols, whether it's HTTP, HTTPS, or TFTP. Then, of course, the manual approach is always available, and maybe the easiest way to get started with configuring a unit, whether this is being done through the CLI or the web interface, but now also the possibility through a WebWizard, which we will show later in the presentation. Once a unit has been installed, you might want to know what's happening to that device. So you want to monitor and also manage it from remote. So there as well, different options we support or we provide here. So that can be done through manual intervention using the CLI or the web interface, or also in an automated way using different kinds of protocol we support at that stage here. Then, as a third item there, we also have the Pattern Element Management System option. So that's a product from Pattern side we provide there, which allows you to manage and monitor up to 100,000 units out in the field. And the good thing about this solution is it doesn't only work for Pattern products, but also for third-party devices to be managed. Now, switching gears here and focusing on the WebWizard, we want to directly get started with today's topic. So the main question here, why we came up with the WebWizards. So that's basically a 3 items thing here. So as you know, the Pattern products, they're quite feature rich, but sometimes also complex to configure. Maybe not for you, but for your customers, not having too much know-how about Pattern products maybe. That's one thing. Then the second thing is we said, well, with the Trinity operating system, it gives us new possibilities to make it easier for Pattern devices to be installed. And we said, well, it would be nice to have a centralized platform where any contribution on config templates or the wizards to be shared among other Pattern users. Now, what a WebWizard is doing. So what are the functions? So what it does, it's providing a graphical user interface, which makes it simpler to users for applications where Pattern products should have to be installed. So another function is it's generating a configuration file which is suitable for a smartware or a Trinity device. Then who creates such wizards? So that can be patent staff, of course, but also network technicians all over the world, such as you listening to us today, VoIP solution integrators, or maybe a smartware certified engineer, or anyone else having CLI skills of patent device configurations, which brings me to that point here. So currently, or up to now, you and also ourselves, we are using text file-based config templates where you can add comments for the end user to indicate what kind of fields, what kind of values have to be entered to a configuration template. So it's really the current way of how configurations can be done. It's not really intuitive way. It could be complicated for some users without having proper CLI know-how. So there we said, well, what can we do based on this technique to make it simpler and easier to users to install units? So what we did is we just put a graphical user interface which is customizable on top of that text file-based template. So this is what we call the WebWizard. So what it does, it's really easy, it's nice, it's customizable, it's really flexible in that way. So you can add, for instance, help text as it's indicated here. So you can set default values, for instance, to indicate what kind of values should or could be entered in a certain field. And it gives you the possibility for a walkthrough configuration approach, as you can see at the bottom of that window, where you can click next to get to the next page.
So Mark, you mean basically everybody can do now, let's say, customized web GUIs?
Yeah, that's basically true. So really what you see here, that's all customizable. So every creator can design its web interface by itself, and also in the background, the config template. So that's really up to the creator how he would like to do that.
But he can still work with the usual web GUI, right?
Exactly. So the WebWizard, as you see here, that's really meant for an initial setup to make it easy for anyone doing an install to be really fast in setting up a device for a certain application. But of course, the common web interface that remains, which is being improved, by the way, on all our Trinity devices, and also the CLI that remains the same. So it's really an addition to the web interface and the CLI for users not having a lot of patent product skills.
Okay.
Now, to go into more details what such a WebWizard is, what it is doing, and how it looks like. So on the left-hand side, as you can see, it's a XML-based file. So that's the wizard. And that, again, contains two sections. So the section at the bottom is the so-called config template. So you already know that in particular. So it contains all the config parameters which are static and remain the same, but it also contains variables which will be filled with whatever value is put in by the user on the GUI side. So as you can see on the upper side of that file, there is the wizard GUI, which is done in using XML scripting language. So with that, it's really up to the creator on how he would like to define fields, if it should be a password field, if it should be a zip domain field, as you can see here. And those fields, the values which will be put in for those fields, they will be placed in the config template, which again will be used as a startup config file to be loaded onto a Trinity or a smartware device. So much about the contents of such a wizard file, which is XML based, then how such a wizard can be created. So there are different possibilities, different approaches in in how to do so. So either you take an existing wizard which has been created by one of our patent staff and you start to modify, you start to add things as you like or as it fits to your application or your user's application. So it's pretty simple. So you can take that wizard, you can modify the XML part in order to get different fields or more fields or different questions for the customer to answer on what kind of value should be used. Or we have a fully detailed WebWizard programmer's guide you can find online or also using the link here once you'll get the presentation of today. Just one remark here, an important point. Once you start to creating a wizard, so there it's important that you set the proper product ID for what products that wizard is matching or what it can be used for. So you will see later on why this is important. So now, what do we do with such a wizard XML file?
So after the wizard was done by the creator or, for instance, by the patent staff, you have the possibility to download it to a Trinity device, and you or your customer then can execute it by filling in the missing information in the fields you set. Or let's say better, and you can upload the file to our WebWizard online platform and share your contribution with the community. I mean, this is the upload function, but we also have then, afterwards it's online, the download function.
Exactly. So once a WebWizard file has been uploaded to our WebWizard platform, community platform, so from there you have two possibilities, of course. So one possibility is to run that wizard online on the patent website in order for you to generate a common text config file, which can be loaded onto a smartware device. So depending on how that wizard was written for, or it can be used on a Trinity device. So that's the execution on our patent website as part of the community platform. Then the other option we have or we offer is to download, for anyone else to download that XML wizard file, to upload it to any Trinity device, and from there to generate a config for that Trinity device. So these are the options and an overview about how to use the wizard XML file. And I think now it's time to give you some more information about this community platform where Tanya will walk you through this in more details.
Exactly. So let's have a look at the Wizard platform. You can access it at patent.com/wizard. There you can see the two memberships we have. There are users. Users are all visitors from the patent webpage who get a login. And the creators are people like you who are technically skilled people or have a SmartNote certification. As soon as you click on Get Started, you will get to our patent online platform. On the right top, you can see that Mark is logged in. And on the left side, you can see your status. So Mark is a creator. But there are users out there who are technically skilled, and we want to give them also the option to be a creator. So if there the status is user, next to it, it will show up a button called Request to be a creator. So moving on to the bottom of this page, we can see all categories. Do you remember that Mark already talked about this, how important it is to fill in the right categories, for instance, SN 4970, and not write the whole part number of the product. So let's click on one category, Mark. So as you can see there, you can find the first wizard that Mark created. At the top, it's the title, then the description. You can see the author of this web wizard and the keywords. The keywords are really important for the user to find the wizard. So fill in as much keywords as you can or as you wish. And then after clicking Run Wizard,
then it opens a pop-up window. So that's basically what I outlined before. So here we want to go into more details on how that works. Clicking on Run Wizard, the pop-up window will display you the wizard. Then you can really walk through that wizard, put in all the values required for whatever application or use case you want to install the unit for. Once you're done with this, you can hit the save button. It will generate you a config file, which can be loaded onto the Trinity device in this case. Another option, as also outlined before, once you click on download, you will get the entire XML file, so the entire wizard file, which can be used on a Trinity device directly. So this could be useful for system integrators, for distributors, sending a unit, let's say, preloaded with a wizard to the end customer. So then for the end customer, it would be really easy to just get on the web interface, execute the wizard to have the unit configured. So that's actually this step here. So
Mark, I have first a question. You talked always about Trinity, but I mean, a lot of customers still have smart nodes with the smartware on it. So can the WebWizard also be used for smartware devices?
Absolutely, absolutely. So just switching back real quick here, as you can see, there is one category for smartware and also the 4110 just right below of it. It's a smartware device. So we already have some wizards there which have been built for config generation for smartware devices. So as you have seen it before, the wizard is quite flexible, so you can really do whatever you want with it. So that means you can define a config for a smartware device or for a Trinity device.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, then about the wizard download function. So once you downloaded such a wizard from the online community platform, you can again upload it onto your Trinity device or to the Trinity device you plan to send out to your customer for a certain install. So all what you have to do here is to click on System, Wizard Config, and then browse the file, this XML file. Once you did that, the wizard has been loaded onto the unit. So then either you or the customer then can click on the magic wand on the right top side, which will open up a list of wizards which have been loaded or preloaded on that device. So once we click on the wizard we just downloaded before, it will open up again the same form, the same mask, in order for you or the customer to generate the config file. So once this is done, you can click save and reboot and the unit is configured. Good. Okay, so now I think we should probably talk about how to upload such wizards. So as we are targeting you as creators today, so we want to also give you an insight in how wizard can be uploaded to the platform. So it's pretty simple. Once you're done with creation of your wizard, you can hit the upload a wizard button. There will be another page explaining you about the details, what you have to consider, and also there will be a field where you can enter keywords in order for them to appear as you saw it before. So that's basically the whole part of it in uploading wizard. Good. Then another thing we want to talk about is the user profile. So once you have been approved to be a creator, so you will get a similar view as this one here. So for instance, this is my view I have in my profile. So you can see the uploaded wizards I have. So the one on top, the Trinity SN4170, that's one I just uploaded and I didn't publish it yet. So what you can do here, just giving you an explanation about the options you have, you can click on the title, even though that wizard hasn't been published yet. This gives you the possibility to test a wizard you have written. So you see now here one for E1 gateways. You can walk through the wizard, you can test it, you can do a preview and so on. And then also you have the possibility to add or remove keywords you maybe wanna do there for that certain wizard by clicking the edit button. And then once you think, well, everything is good with that wizard, you can hit the publish link and then the wizard will be online.
So after I click on first upload the wizard, and then I have to go to my profile and test the wizard, for instance, and then publish it online.
Exactly.
Right? So it won't be published automatically.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once you uploaded the wizard, you'll have to go to your user profile, as Tanya said. There you can test it again, and from there you just click on that link, publish, and then it will be visible to all the other patent community users.
Perfect. So, I mean, and if I have a question concerning one of your wizards, I can click then on comment, and then a new field will appear. There I have the possibility to ask questions, or if I see there is a bug, I don't think so, I can inform you about that. So keep in mind that you are the owner of the wizard, but you have also the commitment to reply to all questions that users may have.
So that means the better the wizard is written, the less questions might come up. Yeah. Or the better the description is, the less you'll have to do in answering the community to questions that might come up, right?
Exactly. Or maybe someone wants to have a generic question, so you will get notified as soon as someone adds their comment, you will receive an email saying that someone commented on your wizard.
Right. But it could be also positive feedbacks, such as the one from my colleague Thomas Klapak, who find this wizard very nice. So I'm looking forward to get some more comments on that wizard, if you like it or not.
Good. So, I mean, there are several advantages combined with this new community. It's something really brand new we came up. And for you, there are plenty of advantages. We said that you have one platform for all configuration templates for your customer. And you can take also advantages of the other wizards of our channels, for instance. So you can save time and money on installations, not only you, but also your customers. Your brand awareness would raise on the community. You have direct interactions with other market players, and you can profit, as I said, from a configuration template library, totally for free.
Very good. So that really sounds interesting. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and so we are doing a little contest for the first 3 creators who create a wizard and publish it online. They will get a gift. So we will say at the beginning of November who won those 3 gifts.
Right. And maybe just a small comment here. So of course, we'll be proving those wizards you guys will be uploading in order for selection of that person who will win the prize. So we want to make sure that the wizard you upload is also properly working and provides benefit for the other community members.
Exactly. So just feel free to, as I said, go to patent.com/wizard, have a look at it. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
Perfect. Good. And I think this ramps up the session of today. So looking at the time here, so we still have a couple of minutes left for question and answer. So let's see what we have up there.
Yeah, I have one question which was not answered yet. Joel is asking, is there any built-in variable which can decide which host hardware is running under the wizard?
That's actually a very sophisticated question, I would say. So that's something I would have to check with the engineers. But one thing I can tell you, it's really possible to put in variables for the number of ports of the unit to be determined automatically by the wizard. So depending on where you load that wizard or which Trinity device you load that wizard, it will depending on that variable, display the GUI fields according to, let's say, the number of ports you have on that unit. So the hardware version, that's something I'll have to figure out, and I'll get back to you, Scholt, in the coming days or hours, if possible, in answering you that question.
Perfect.
So, any other question?
I think all the others are already have a reply to it.
Perfect. So that seems that everyone understood on what the wizard is doing or can do?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Then let's also close the Q&A session here. And we want to, before we leave or before we end, we want to hit we want to do a quick poll here. And let's see how that works. Just give me a second. So we want to know from you how likely it is that you will create a wizard. So I'll give you a couple of seconds here to answer us that question. Very good. So answers are coming in. Let's give another couple of seconds here, but thanks already now for all of those voted here. Okay, so we'll close it now and we'll just switch to the other one. We want to know from you if you like the wizard approach and the platform. So just give us some feedback here. And as always, we are there to receive any comments, feedback, or suggestions for improvements. I would be always glad to really hear from the market. What do you think about this? And then last but not least, the one and famous question about the wizard, about the webinar of today. If you liked it or not. Couple of more seconds. Excellent. So answers are coming in fast and we'll close that out as well. Perfect. Thank you very much for giving us those feedbacks and answers. And I think we can close this session for today. So I would like to thank for your attention, for your time you took, and we really are looking forward to your contributions. So we will be really happy to see wizards coming from your side. And as always, just reach out to us, send us an email, give us a phone call if you have any questions. And of course, also thank you, Tanya, for supporting me for this session today. And with that, I say thank you again and goodbye and wishing you all a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.